कृष्णस्य सर्वं वशे कृष्णे भक्तिरखण्डिता भवतु मे भो कृष्ण त्वमेवाश्रयः। There's a very big purport to this one. We understand Sri Krishna Sharanam Namastatam. That means in all the world, Krishna is the only person to whom we can actually send, who is worthy of our surrender. Krishnam Vinakagati. Without Krishna, what else is there? There's no other way. The only one. Then, yeah. Krishna Pratimanyate Kalimalam. Krishna's nature is described. That is, sorry, I have to make it small. Yeah. The contamination of Kali Yuga can be destroyed only by Krishna. That's the meaning. Krishna Karya Namaha. Bow down to his activities. Krishna Tatsitika Bhima Jago. Even death personified is a friend of Krishna. And Krishna says Sarvam Vashe. Everything is under the control of Krishna. Krishna Bhakta Khanda Bhavatu Me Krishna Te Vashryaha. We pray that we may have interpreted the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and He is our only shelter. Is working? Okay, now we just completed text 3 of chapter 4, and chapter 4 is entitled as Transcendental Knowledge. This knowledge is special because knowing this, one can actually quit the cycle of birth and death. As we will see, Krishna tells what is the benefit of knowing this knowledge. This knowledge is not as ordinary knowledge, a special kind of knowledge. Okay, we go to text 4. In the previous verse, we understood who can understand this knowledge. Krishna says, Bhakto sime sakha cheti. One who is my devotee and my friend. Such a person can understand Krishna. How many of you have understood Krishna here? No one has understood Krishna? You understood Krishna? Actually, no one can understand Krishna. Even Krishna cannot understand himself. So, we understand he's ununderstandable. We understood. That understanding. Arjuna Uvacha Apram Bhakto Janma Param Janma Vivasvatah Tham Etad Vijnaniyam Tam Adau Prokpan Iti. You can, no. Can you read?
Arjun, the sun god was is seen by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this sense to him?
In spirituality, there's always room to ask questions. Sometimes, in some certain religious paths, one is not allowed to ask question, isn't it? So that is what is the term used for that? Where you cannot ask question, you cannot question the beliefs. No, there's one more term. Not dictatorship. It's from V. Fascism. Is from V. Yeah, anyway, it's just, yeah. There's particular word where you're not allowed to ask questions. You're supposed to just follow what is being said. Whereas spirituality is not like that. Andhavishwas. Andhavishwas. Okay. Yeah. It's not Andhavishwas because I'm not talking about blind faith. Sometimes the people are not allowed to ask question. Blasphemy. It's not blasphemy. Anyway, you get the point. So once one person went to a mosque. He was Muslim born person. So he went inside the mosque and there was a sermon being given. And he went and asked this person because in the sermon they were saying that God exists everywhere and God is great, etc. etc. So this person went and asked him. Of course, he raised his hand. In public, he asked a question. His question was, if God exists everywhere, does he exist in stool also? This is the question. Yes. So, what do you think the answer is? Anyone knows? What is the answer? Huh? Is that everything? Stool also.
But isn't that the concept Gauris follow? They say nothing's impure because God is in everything.
Yeah, correct. That's what they follow. Correct. So, is he present? Stool also. Of course, when he asked such a question, he was kicked out of the mosque, and therefore his faith in his religion was little shaken up. And that is the time he became open to a better spiritual understanding, for deeper spiritual understanding. And then as he was walking on the road, there was a ditch. He didn't see the ditch, so he fell inside the ditch. And after some time, he opened his eyes, and this was a dark, pretty, covered up ditch. So it was pretty dark. There was only one, there was a hole on the top through which there was sun rays falling, and this sunlight was falling exactly on a magazine which was also in the ditch, and this was a Back to Godhead magazine. So when he picked up the magazine, on the front page it said, God is everywhere, even in stool. So that devotee, later on he met the Hare Krishna devotees, and now he's a sannyasi in the movement. Yeah. So you find that sometimes religion, which actually doesn't encourage question answers, they often send away the bright people, because doubting is a sign of intelligence, not blind doubting, of course, but doubting, questioning is sign of intelligence. And therefore here Arjuna is not just accepting, is not speculating. Asking question, of course you can ask the question if to verify, but speculation is not really, of course speculation, philosophical speculation is okay, like you extrapolate and understand, okay, if this is what it is, can we also understand another thing to be like this? That's fine, but we have to verify. But doubting is a sign of intelligence. Therefore here in this fourth verse you will find, what is Arjuna doing? He's asking a question to Krishna. Krishna just said, I spoke Bhagwad Gita to sun god millions of years ago. Arjuna is not accepting it blindly. What is he doing? He's asking a question. So he's saying, sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. So how am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed the science to him? So it need not be a challenging question. The mood of the question is to understand. But at the same time, he's allowed to ask a question. And the next verse you will find, Krishna doesn't say, you fool, I am speaking Gita now, why are you asking questions in between? He doesn't say that. When Prabhupada writes, Arjuna is an accepted devotee of the Lord, so how could he not believe Krishna's words? Why is Arjuna asking question? Not for himself, but for those who do not believe in the Supreme Person of Godhead. Or for the demons who do not like the idea that Krishna should accept the Supreme Person of Godhead. That means he's asking question on behalf of us. Yeah. Okay, then also, divinity of Krishna is mentioned. Therefore, to clarify this point, see how Krishna remains the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, the eternal original person, is very difficult for an ordinary man to understand. To understand divinity of God is not easy. Therefore, to clarify this point, Arjuna put this question to Krishna so that he himself could speak authoritatively. See, therefore, when Krishna himself speaks about himself, it is auspicious for all the worlds. And therefore, Arjuna is asking a question. Okay, we can read from. Yeah, can you read from you? Who has the mic?
To the demons, such explanation by Krishna himself may appear to be strange because the demons always study Krishna from their own standpoint. But those who are devotees hardly welcome the statements of Krishna when they are spoken by Krishna himself. The devotees will always worship such authoritative statements of Krishna because they are always eager to know more and more about him. The atheists, who consider Krishna an ordinary man, may in this way come to know that Krishna is superhuman, that he is Satchidanand Vigraha, the eternal form of bliss and knowledge, that he is transcendental and that he is above the domination of the modes of material nature and above the influence of time and space. A devotee of Krishna, like Arjuna, is undoubtedly above any misunderstanding of the transcendental position of Krishna. Arjun's putting this question before the Lord is simply an attempt by the devotee to defy the theistic attitude of persons who consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being, subject to the modes of material nature.
So Arjuna wants Krishna to clarify his position. He wants the whole world to understand who Krishna really is. He's not an ordinary person like us. Therefore, Arjuna is asking this question so that Krishna can clarify himself. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Bahuni me Vyatitani Janmani Tavat Arjuna Tanyam Ved Sarvani Nadvavet Parantapa.
The personality of Godhead said, "Many, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot."
Subdue of enemy.
Uh,
Yeah. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that mm, I can remember all my births. Why? Because Krishna doesn't take birth as we take birth. When Krishna comes to this world, he comes out of his sweet will. When we come out to this world, we are forced to take birth. Therefore, birth is also a problem. Yeah. Can you repeat? Advaitamachyutamanadimanantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabhamatma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Can someone else read?
I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, who is the original person,
Krishna.
absolute. Govinda Krishna, who is the original person, absolute, infallible, without beginning. Although expanded into unlimited forms, he is still the same original, the oldest, and the person who always appearing as a fresh youth. Such eternal, blissful, all knowing forms of the Lord are usually not understood by even the best Vedic scholars, but they are always manifest to pure, unalloyed devotees.
Yeah.
It is also stated
Yeah, in Brahma Samhita.
in Brahma Samhita.
You can repeat after me. Ramadimurtishu Kalanyamena Tishtan
Ramadi Murti
Nanavataram Bhuvaneshu Kintu
Nanavataram Akarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu
Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramah Pumanyo
Krishna Swayam
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, Krishna, who is always situated in various incarnations, such as Rama, Nrsimha, and many sub-incarnations as well, who is the original personality of Godhead, known as Krishna, and who incarnates personally also. In the Vedas, also,
Prabhupada is saying how Krishna has innumerable form. All the multi forms understood by pure unenlightened devotees. Just in any form, Bhakti Yoga has to be performed. Just as Krishna is saying, only my friend and devotee can understand me. That's also true for all the forms, whether Ram, Narasimha, Vara, anyone. So, Vede Durlabham, Durlabham, Bhakti. Devotees like Arjuna are constant companions of the Lord. And whenever the Lord incarnates, associate devotees also incarnate in order to serve the Lord in different capacities. Arjuna is one of these devotees, and in this verse is understood some millions of years ago when Lord Krishna spoke in Bhagwad Gita to son Vivasan. Arjuna in different capacity was also present. Arjuna was also there, but Arjuna doesn't remember, Krishna remembers. This is the difference between Jiva and Krishna. But the difference between Lord and Arjuna is that the Lord remembers the incident, whereas Arjuna cannot remember. That is the difference between part and parcel living entity and the Supreme Lord. Although Arjuna is addressed here in the mighty hero who could subdue the enemy, he is unable to recall what has happened in his previous birth. Therefore, living entity, however great he may be, in the mental estimation, can never equal the Supreme Lord. Anyone who is a constant companion of the Lord is certainly a liberated person, but he cannot be equal to the Lord. Lord is described in the Brahma Samhita infallible, Achyuta, first verse which we recited, which means that he never forgets himself, even though he is in material contact. Therefore, the Lord and the living entity can never be equal in all respects, even if the living entity is as liberated as Arjuna. Arjuna is devoted of the Lord, he sometimes forgets the nature of the Lord. But by the divine grace, a devotee can at once understand the infallible condition of the Lord. Whereas a non-devotee or demon cannot understand this transcendental nature. So, to ultimate truth, there are two parts. The first part to understand not this I am spirit soul, and the second part of transcendental knowledge is understand I'm not just a spirit soul wandering in the universe. I'm a spirit soul part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna claims, Mama Kamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. Krishna is telling Arjuna in the 15th chapter, all these living entities are my part and parcels. Having got the mind, six senses, they come to this world trying to exploit material nature, which they are struggling hard. Actually, they have nothing to do with all this. We are all lost children of billionaire father. Our father is billionaire, Krishna. Now we're looking for money, we are looking for job. Actually, we don't have to do this. Why? Because the spirit soul is in touch with Krishna, is actually part and parcel of Krishna. Just because we have turned away from him, immediately the troubles have come up. All we have to do is turn back. Which Upanishad? One of the Upanishads mentioned, I'm not sure if it's the Kat Upanishad. Kat Upanishad mentions that there are two birds in a tree. The one bird is looking at different fruits of the tree, biting it and trying to enjoy different tastes. So one fruit he eats, it is very sweet, he enjoys. The other fruit he eats, it is bitter and he suffers. And there is the other bird, which is looking at this bird and he's just witnessing the activities of the other bird. So Kat Upanishad explains these two birds are Jiva and Paramatma. Jiva is the one who has come to this material world trying to enjoy different fruits and trying to become happy in this world. Sometimes he gets some happiness, sometimes he gets distress. Whereas the other bird is Paramatma bird, which is the witnesser to all our activities. The Paramatma bird is witnessing and just waiting, when will this fellow turn back to me? Because when we turn to Krishna, then all the problems will cease. How far is Krishna? Any idea?
Far?
Yeah, how far?
8 lokas above us.
8 lokas?
He's not
Okay.
far.
He's not far? Where is he?
Inside us.
Inside you? You've eaten him?
Some people,
A surrender away? Okay, that's a good answer. A surrender away. Yeah?
some people it's close and some people
It's far?
Some people can talk to and see it, some people
Cannot? Okay. So, okay, anything else? Within our hearts. Okay. Yeah? Which one there? I got heard. Within our hearts. Okay.
I think it's also the attraction of energy. Like, I don't know how relatable it is to Bhagavad Gita, but you say, the energy you give is the energy you get.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel, as you also said, some people can talk to us, and some people are always just in question. Like,
Correct.
is there some energy like that? And some said, okay, I think there is an energy which exists, but then don't know where.
Correct.
All layers.
Yeah. Actually, Krishna is the closest person to us.
Yeah.
There's no one else closer to us than Krishna. It is explained in the Shastras that the Jiva is present in this body in the region of the heart, and Paramatma is standing right next to him. While the Jiva is focused on trying, or absorbed rather, absorbed trying to enjoy in this material world, Paramatma is standing waiting for him. Paramatma is not sitting down. Once our Jadurani Devidasi, she's an artist. So most of the paintings in our books, Prabhupada books, you find is painted by her. So once she wanted to paint Paramatma for Bhagwad Gita, or one of the books, and she asked Prabhupada. No, she asked Prabhupada, so how do I know if Paramatma is sitting or standing? Because she's painting. Prabhupada said that will take you millions of years, millions of lifetimes. Then he said, but if you ask me, he's standing. Basically wanted to make a point. If we try to attain Krishna on our own, it's almost impossible. Sorry, it is impossible. But if we approach a bona fide pure devotee of the Lord, he can tell us, he can reveal Krishna to us. Isn't it? So Paramatma is there, present next to the soul, standing and waiting. When will this fellow turn towards me? That time Krishna reveals himself. So he is the closest person. Therefore, a pure devotee, he can go across the globe alone. He can travel alone. Because he is depending. He knows I am not alone. Supreme Lord is always with me. Not just a sentimental idea. He has realized the presence of the Lord in heart. Dhyana vastata tadgatena manasa pashyati yam yogino. That means the yogis, they can actually visualize the Supreme Lord in the heart. Not by adjustment of the mind, but by realization of their yoga practice, by their absorption.
Prabhuji, I
Yes.
have a question.
Yes.
So, we say that the goal of our lives is to go back to Godhead. So, if it is that we can connect to God within us, then what is the reality? What is the truth? Do we have to go somewhere to Him, or while living in this material world, we can be with Him?
Okay, good question. Actually, a pure devotee has no demands. He is happy wherever he can serve Krishna. But at the same time, Krishna is realized in multiple three features. Um, what is that verse? Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yadjnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwaniti shabdyate. Bhagavatam says. That means Krishna is realized in first basic feature of Krishna is impersonal Brahmajyoti. People say, God is light, God is love. Impersonal aspect. Many of the other religions also believe in this. This is a very easy to understand feature of the Lord. Very easily understood, because you can understand light can be everywhere. Can a person be everywhere? That's difficult to understand. Light can be everywhere? Yeah, that's easy. So, impersonal feature is the basic, but higher than that is the Paramatma feature of the Lord. And above that is Bhagwan feature of the Lord. Bhagwan feature of the Lord is complete because you can exchange love with Bhagwan feature. You can offer him bhoga. You can cook something and offer it to him. You can reciprocate different kinds of loving exchanges with him. You can participate in Leela with him. There's no Leela of the Paramatma. Paramatma is just standing there, isn't it? So it's a partial manifestation of the Bhagwan feature of Krishna. So therefore, though it is said that for a devotee, for a pure devotee, wherever Krishna wants him to stay and serve, he is happy to do that. Like Arjuna. Whenever Krishna comes to this world, Arjuna also comes. But at the same time, for the jiva, the constitutional position is the spiritual world. That means the jiva is like fish out of water when he is not going to the spiritual world, when he is in the material world. So to go back to God is the goal of life, and when we are in a liberated position, when we go back to God, if Krishna wants us to be in the material world, we don't mind. So as a matter of consciousness, in conclusion, I can say, as a matter of consciousness, anything can be Godhead. Even in material world, a pure devotee can look see Vaikuntha. Like Prabhupada was in one of the places. I'm not sure if it was San Francisco. One of the places it was pretty degraded with drugs and everything. So that time, the people who brought him, his disciples, they were saying, "Oh Swamiji, please forgive us. We brought you to such a degraded place." He said, "Degraded place? This is Vaikuntha." Like that he said. Why? Because a pure devotee is always in touch with the Lord. To the degree we are touch with Krishna, that place is spiritual world. Like that. So yes, when we say we want to go back to Godhead, there is also spiritual world. But even in the material world, if Krishna wants it, we are ready to serve him here also. But the point, most important point is we want to be in touch with him. That answers the question? Yeah.
Is it then by the grace of the Lord itself you understand from being personal to a personal form? Or is that is just a
It's
different?
true, it's the grace of the Lord. Yeah. The Gyanis who are independent, who work on their own, they at max can understand there's something great.
So that's not the energies, it's they understand Krishna as impersonal but not
Correct.
Krishna's energies as impersonal. Like
Sorry.
when as
Mayavadi, yeah.
when they meditate on energies, as you said, they think of it as Lord Krishna's energies, or they think of Lord Krishna as impersonal itself.
They think of there are different kinds of impersonalists. Some of them think that ultimate truth is himself impersonal, and from that impersonal Brahman has come various manifestations of Krishna, Rama, Devi, Ganesh, everything.
Like they say, Shiva is the impersonal, and then
Yeah, so that is the impersonal conception.
okay.
It's easy to understand that, and even if one doesn't refer to scripture, one can come to that conclusion because it's easy to understand.
But is that like a level of way to us come?
They're also transcendentalists. They're also spiritualists.
Okay.
Way better than materialists. They're still better, but it's not the ultimate truth because they cannot, make butter for Krishna. I mean, how will you feed impersonal Brahmajyoti?
Yeah.
They can only meditate Om Shanti Shanti. That's all they can do.
Yeah.
Whereas if one wants rasa, one wants higher taste, it's like negative. Coming to impersonal Brahmajyoti is zero.
Okay.
But above zero, there's positive.
Okay.
Positive means you need loving exchange. Like if husband and wife they're fighting, then that's negative. So then they'll say, okay, I will not talk to you, you don't talk to me. So they both are in their rooms. That is like zero. Then they understand for want of some relationship. So then they come and have positive relationship. That is like positive.
Okay.
Crude example, but I hope you get the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the starting of the explanation, it said the one without beginning. So is it like Krishna has no beginning, or we don't know what's his beginning?
No, he has no beginning.
Where is it written?
He's here, Brahma Samhita.
So if I want to read like the exact verse in Brahma Samhita.
I'll give you the. This is Brahma Samhita 533. It's Anadim. Or just here, even in Bhagwad Gita, I think you'll find. You can see 10.12. 10 point Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Param Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum Ajam unborn. Unborn means he has no beginning. Adi Devam means he was the first god. Before him there was no god. Like that. Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. Vibhum means he's great. Like that. So 10.12 you can refer. This Arjuna is telling Krishna. Okay. Where were we? Yeah. We did this. Okay. See, Lord's body and the self are identical. Means spiritually, the living entity and Krishna are the same. But spiritually means considering the nature, like ocean and drop of ocean. Qualitatively they are same, but quantitatively big difference. Similarly, Krishna and living entity by nature they are same, Satchidananda, but when you talk about their capacities, what they can do, then Krishna is vast, unlimited, and the Jiva is highly limited. He's dependent. Krishna is independent. He's known as Swarat, whereas Jivas are dependent on Krishna for enjoyment. Yeah. And because the Lord's body and self are identical, his position is always different from that of ordinary living entity. That means Krishna's body and soul. Krishna doesn't have a separate body. Whatever Krishna's body, that himself, that itself is himself. For us, this body is not me. This body is a covering for. It's my dress for the soul. I am the soul. But Krishna is, there's no difference between body and himself. Similarly, Krishna, there's no difference between name and Krishna. Krishna's name and him. There's no difference between Krishna's qualities and Krishna. If you don't understand, it's not okay, because not expect to understand this one. This comes by realization. Yeah.
Then how do we have a description of the deities present? There is no.
No, I'm not saying there's no description. Krishna and his Krishna's and his qualities are same. Krishna and his form is same. That means when you're glorifying his qualities, that means, as for example, if I say Krishna, Krishna is there. If I say water, it will not quench your thirst. So that means water substance and water name are different. But when you say Krishna or Krishna's holy name, they are not different. Like that. Yeah. The demons cannot adjust themselves to this transcendental nature of the Lord, which the Lord himself explains in the following verse. Hare Krishna. Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhami atmamaya. Very, very important verse. All these verses from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 9 at least, and even 10 are important verses. Memorized. This is explaining, this verse explaining the divinity of Krishna. Anyone challenges you about Krishna's nature, because nowadays most students, when I talk to them, their understanding of Krishna is that he was just like a, like a loaf. He's dealing with multiple girls and he's just hanging around. So they cannot understand the divinity of Krishna. And thanks to the TV shows and various other writers and so many other people, they are actually flaring up such a misconception. So how can you worship such a Lord? Now we'll come to 4.9. I will show you what happens when you understand Krishna's divinity. Okay. Who has the mic? Tarun can be.
Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form.
Yeah. So he's unborn. His transcendental body never deteriorates. Like on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna was looking as if he was 16-year old, but he was actually 125-year old. Whereas our bodies, they degrade, isn't it? Sometimes we get a disease where we grow old faster than our age, isn't it? Progeria. Yeah. So but Krishna's body doesn't degrade. Krishna's capacity doesn't degrade. As we can become weak, Krishna doesn't become weak. So the Lord spoke about the peculiarity of birth. Although he may appear like an ordinary person, he remembers everything of many, many past births, quote unquote, because it's not ordinary birth. Whereas a common man cannot remember what he has done even a few hours before. Someone is asked what he did exactly at the same time one day earlier. Yesterday, 7 o'clock. What happened? 5 days ago, what did you eat for lunch? Unless we eat same thing, like if you ask us, we eat daily khichdi, so it's not difficult to remember. But if you're changing, so one last week, what did you have for lunch? Where were you? So people, we cannot even remember these things. How many of you remember 5 phone numbers? You remember 5 numbers. Okay, how many of you remember 10 phone numbers? 10 phone numbers.
More than that.
More than that, 15.
I don't I don't have count,
Okay, then I'll go for the ultimate question. 100 phone numbers. Zero. Yeah. I mean, we can, so even if we can remember, even 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, but not 101. Even if 200, not 201, isn't it? But Krishna remembers many, many birds. Whenever he has listened, everything is fresh. He doesn't forget. Like that. Just for the sake of us Kaliyuga Vasis, all the Vedas were compiled and put into writing. Just for us. Because our qualification, Payana, Hello, was Manda Sandamatam, Bhagya. Why? Because when the meeting happened between Sage Naimish and Sut Swami, these are just before Bhagavatam came out. So sages of Naimisharanya are asking, please give us that literature which is the essence of all the other literatures. Because now Kali Yuga is beginning, this is the beginning of Kali Yuga, on Kali Yuga. As Kali Yuga begins, our memory deteriorates. So we can not just memory deteriorates, we have very short span. How much time? See, always we are discussing always 75. Hardly began the class. Then there's no time, basically. Then we have studies and so many other things to do. So we have short lives. Even if someone says no, I can live long. But manda means even if one can live long, how much we understand spiritual subject matter. If we can actually even different way that get confused. What is what? Manda. Even if someone says will not get confused, I'm very smart. Suman Matayo. That means he is also not very sharp in grasping the essence. Like Parikshit is called as Saragrahi. That means he can go through something and get the essence of what is to be done. Whereas people in this world, they get carried away by external things. Isn't it? So Sumanda Matayo and Manda Bhagya. Even if one can get the essence, still Manda Bhagya means one is unfortunate. Isn't it? Like someone wants to says one wants to chant 16 rounds, one wants to study Gita daily for 3-4 hours. But Manda Bhagya means such a person will lose job. What will happen to him? So he has intense desire to practice spiritual life. There's other things that will impede his desire. If someone says, no, everything is very well in my life, then Upadutta means disturbed. Mind is always disturbed with so many things in this world. Political situation, war situation, relationships, careers, children, family, relatives. So many things to worry about in this material world. Is it? So therefore, the Aegis of Naimisharanya said it was the essence of everything, all the Shastra, because we do not understand. We have no time, nor do we have enough memory, nor do we have enough focus and interest. So therefore, Sutta Goswami give us the essence, and that is the time Srimad Bhagavatam has come out. In Srimad Bhagavatam, what is Srimad Bhagavatam? Gita is spoken by Krishna, and Bhagavatam is spoken about Krishna. So if anyone wants to understand who God is, they have to read Srimad Bhagavatam properly. Canto 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So why am I saying this? Because we don't have much memory capacity. When I was taking one session, I spoke the same statement in my office in India, in Bangalore. So there was one guy from Bitspani. So he said, how can you say we don't have enough memory? Because he was from Bitspani. So he took it as an offense. But actually, it is true. Even if someone says, I have memory, good memory, but it's not the best. We need machines. No, many people have why weren't machines before? We didn't have need for machines. So smart. Isn't it? Like that. Yeah.
So when we change body, the certain body also
Oh yeah.
certain body is made of mind or ego.
Right.
And does our memory also goes with us in the new body?
Yeah. All memories, all experiences of all the past lifetimes are stored in the mind. But according to the body, forgetfulness is given. Like for example, I will not have the desire to become a computer science engineer in the body of a pig. So according to the body, the desires will come up. Which desires will come to the forefront of the mind? That's also based on what identity we take. So ego brings forth the desires. Like if I think I'm the leader here, immediately other desires. If I have desire to exploit people, if I have desire to put some money in my pocket, these desires will come up.
Hidden desires.
Hidden desires, yeah. So therefore, the mind is like a store of all experiences, desires, thoughts, everything. But which comes up according to circumstance, according to the body, ego, everything.
We do have large memory, but it is hidden.
Yeah, sometimes the access is lost. Some database, if you lose access, you cause it to be lost. So in certain human body or body, access to certain things is lost. Yeah. And for our good, to enjoy this world, to try to enjoy this world. Very important purpose, therefore, I'm going through. Though it may sound a little technical, how many of you like technical explanations? Not big fans of technical education. Anyway, I got 45% or 50%. Yeah, but if we don't understand technically, what Prabhupada says, Sri Prabhupada says, religion without philosophy is sentimentalism. Philosophy without religion is mental speculation. Can anyone repeat that?
Religion without philosophy is
Yeah,
sentimental.
yeah. And
Mental speculation.
yeah, you understood what it means? That means, okay, religion means religion without philosophy. Religion without philosophy means that means people like stories, like pastimes. Like I went to psychology teacher and gave her Gita. She know you're devotee of Krishna, try and devotee of Ganesh because I find him very cute. So this is what that is their devotees. Once they find the girl is not cute or someone else is cute, boyfriend is cute, she will devote her boyfriend. Right. So religion without philosophy is sentiment. Sentiments change. That's the problem. And philosophy without religion is mental speculation because religion means there is dharma. From Bhagwad Gita. Religion means love and service to God. So if one is only talking about philosophy, this Sankhya and yoga and putting up words here and there, but then they don't do the actual sum and substance of worshipping Krishna, then that is also useless. As Shankaracharya says, Samprapte nihite kale nahi nahi rakshite dukkham tarane. That means your grammatical play of words will not save you at the time of death. So simply being philosophical without putting anything into practice, like some people they ask so many questions. Years together they're asking questions. And you ask them, what is your practice? They say, no, I have not started, I don't even chant one round. Yeah, years together. So therefore that is not of much use. Our philosophical inquiry should lead to some level of practice. Only then you can actually get the qualification of further philosophical thoughts, because then you have understood the previous ones. Isn't it? Therefore, philosophy without religion is mental speculation. Like one Prabhupada was talking with this person asking about what kinds of religion. Finally, what is your view about Buddhism? And Prabhupada turned and said, what do you practice? He said, no, I don't practice anything, I'm just asking questions. Then he said, there's no use of me answering your questions. Because oneself is practicing anything. Simply ask questions that are used. Okay? Therefore, philosophy without religion is mental speculation. Can you all repeat? Religion without philosophy
Religion with philosophy
is sentimentalism.
sentimentalism.
Philosophy without religion
And philosophy without religion
is mental.
mental speculation.
So therefore, technical explanation is required, and actually, it's not too technical also. But this level of this philosophy is required so that we understand divinity of Krishna. If we don't understand divinity of Krishna, there will always be hidden doubts at the background of our mind, which will hinder our progress in surrendering to Krishna. Isn't it? Like one famous politician was, he would go wherever he would go, he would carry Bhagwad Gita. And this person, when he was asked by a reporter, So, do you know this Bhagavad Gita spoken by Krishna? He dances with many young girls, unmarried young girls. And this politician said, if that is the case, then I don't believe in Krishna. Then Krishna is not good for me. Why? Because he has not understood the divinity of Krishna, isn't it? So therefore, philosophy is required. And therefore, spending going to the airport. If this is understood, then you will find anything to do with Krishna in respect to one practice becomes miserable. If we don't understand the divinity of Krishna, whatever we practice Krishna, it will be on a superficial platform, superfluous. So therefore, we are trying to go deeper. And this is nothing. As we go on Bhagavad Gita, we are going to go deeper. So therefore, I again recommend, like I was saying in the class also, now we are in the fourth chapter, studying transcendental knowledge. If you want to understand such these things, you have to be chanting Hare Krishna. Because without the purification of heart, certain things we cannot understand at all. They'll always remain very, like bouncer, or they'll remain very lofty, they will remain very esoteric. Our access is not there. Because this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, is called as Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. This has to be revealed in the heart. How much ever you may sit with the Bhagavad Gita and cram it, you will not get it. It's like an open secret. You can go and do whatever with the Bhagavad Gita, you are not going to get the knowledge without surrendering to the process given by Krishna. So therefore, this is required. A question?
No, I have any word. I don't know.
No, I think you were asking. Okay, let's go to the one. Very extensive purport. This is most famous. So we continue in the next class because big thing to understand divinity of Krishna. So we will skip the service. It will take a couple of classes. यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
ग्लानिर्भवति भारत
अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य
अभूत्यानमधर्मस्य
तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्.
Yeah, who has the mic? Read.
Just open it, switch it on. It's on, no?
It's on. It's on. Now something else is on.
Oh, the
Yeah, just put it down. Put it down.
Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself.
Yeah. So in the previous verse, Krishna used the word Sambhavami Atma Maya. The first line, if you remember. So Sambhavami Atma Maya means I come to this world, but not like us. I don't come to this world like you. Krishna is saying Atma Maya means by my own potency. When jivas come to this world, they are forced to. We don't choose the parents. We are given the parents. We don't choose which species we take born. We are given that according to our karma. For Krishna, he chooses where he wants to appear. Like for Kashyapa and Aditi, he is telling beforehand, I come as a son. Now, anyone said to parents beforehand, I come as a son, be waiting for me. No one said. But for Krishna, Krishna tells them beforehand. Like Kalki Avatar is mentioned, Bhagavatam, it is mentioned he'll be coming in the Sambhala village, I think somewhere in Bihar. And is mentioned, what is his father's name?
Yeah, some Brahmin,
Yesterday only we were
Brahmin
reading.
family it is.
Yeah.
Brahmin
Anyway,
family.
so his father's name is given. Who is the parent? That is also given. This is Atma Maya. That means Antaranga Shakti. Krishna descends by his own sweet will. But when we come, if you can see, when you read the Krishna book, when Krishna has taken birth from Devaki, Krishna didn't have to, get the umbilical cord cut and he was all bloodied when he came, he was crying. No. Krishna appeared from the heart of Devaki. And he came with Kirita and Kunda. Because he had a beautiful smile on his face, and to give some assurance that nothing will happen, he also manifested in Vishnu form, Shankachakra Gadapada, isn't it? That gave assurance to Devaki and Vasudeva. But when we come into this world, we come first of all we come up and down, isn't it? Then we are all bloodied, and it is said the baby when it comes out in delivery, it is not crying. Then the nurse has to pick up the baby from the legs and hit it on the back, make sure it cries, because it's normal to come crying into this world. Krishna didn't come crying into this world; he came smiling, isn't it? So this, therefore, you can understand what is the divinity of Krishna, how Krishna appears. That is Atma Maya, and how we come. That is Daivi Prakriti. That is the Mahamaya potency. That is material, and what Krishna, how Krishna descends is spiritual. How we leave this world is material. How Krishna leaves this world is spiritual, isn't it? So, therefore, when in the previous verse he had mentioned Sambhavami Atma Maya, and here he says about Sujami. See, Sujami cannot be used in the sense of creation, because according to the previous verse, there is no creation of Lord's form or body, because Atma Maya, he comes on his own. Since all the forms are eternally existent. Okay, so maybe we'll go through this next time, because already time. So what I will do is we'll just read next two verses and we'll do it next time. परित्राणाय साधूनां
परित्राणाय साधूनां
विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां
विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय
संभवामि युगे युगे.
संभवामि युगे युगे.
Translation:
To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium.
Most famous verse. Okay, next one. जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामिति सोऽर्जुन.
One who knows the transcendent nature of my appearance and activity does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains eternal abode, O Arjuna.
If we understand divinity of Krishna, Krishna says, if you understand Janma Karma Me Divya, my birth and activities in this world complete on a spiritual platform, such a person is actually quitting the cycle of birth and death immediately. Therefore, it's not very easy to understand. Therefore, we have to go deep. But this is what is most important. This is transcendental knowledge. To understand transcendental nature of Krishna's appearance and activities. His karma is called as Adbhuta Karmanaha. When he performs a Leela, it is noted in Bhagavatam for all the devotees to read for time, so long time to come, ages to come. Whereas we perform our Leela, we only have to catch someone and tell, you know what I did today, and they are interested to hear, isn't it? And this is the last verse, we'll just read. Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya ma pashah bhavo jnana tapasa putamad bhava
Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me, taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me.
Yeah. Therefore, we understand Krishna's divinity. Then what happens? We become free from attachment, fear, anger. Then we can worship Krishna, therefore being fully absorbed in me, and we can take bit of understanding that he is capable of giving shelter. Once Srila Prabhupada was walking with his disciple, and he told his disciple, he pointed in the direction and said, "What do you see?" There was a man walking with his dog. So then he saw, yeah, there's a man walking with his dog. The dog was not walking normally. The dog was walking very confidently. And then he saw Prabhupada said, see, the dog is walking very confidently. And he pointed, why is the dog so confident? Then the disciple looked at the master. Master is also very walking confidently. So because the dog has a very capable master, dog is confident. Similarly, if we have a capable master, we also be confident in life. If you look at the devotees, they go across the globe, chanting Hare Krishna on the streets. No problem, no fear. Isn't it? You don't mind. There's no danger for the devotee because Krishna is giving protection. Because Krishna is a capable master. Like that. So therefore, one can take refuge in Krishna because he has understood Krishna is a capable master and became purified. We become purified by knowing about Krishna and attain love for him. This is also the result of knowing divinity of Krishna. So this all will be further discussed in upcoming sessions. So we'll stop here.